Currently nobody here, which makes things a little easier. This is my first stream that I have ever done, save for a 12-second test that I did a while ago on accident. But anyway, we're here in San Juan in the ATR. We're going to be flying over to Princess Juliana today. I've got some currency to do, as a matter of fact, because I have not done my... I've been so busy with the channel that I haven't done my monthly flight for American Airlines Virtual, which is kind of ridiculous considering the fact that that I basically fly for American Virtual every single day. So I guess first things first, we'll get us some weather, and that weather is old. So, alright, let's have a quick look at what we're going to do. We can look at Volanta, or we can look at Navigraph. I guess we'll look at Navigraph. So, pretty simple flight plan. We're going to be coming from San Juan. We'll be doing the Hamar 2 departure, out to Nail, over to Slugo, Uluba 1 and in. Simple stuff. So we'll start by making sure everything's looking good up top. Let's get the external power on, main oxygen supply on, the lights, turn the seatbelts off because we don't need people in their seats right now. Do want to turn our rotating beacon on. Alright, so we're good to go as far as that's concerned. And now it's time to set up our flight plan. I have a great little program that I use for this called SimBrief Panel. And I get on flightsim.to, just come over and hit the fetch button to get your latest Vatsim flight plan. All your information, your alternate, your routing, your payload, your weather, everything. It's a really cool little program. So first things first, we'll get our departure set up. We're going to depart, I do believe they want us departing runway 8. So have a quick look. Yeah, runway 8, Hamar 2. So get that going. Runway 8, Hamar 2, Slugo, and execute. And there is going to be a discontinuity here. We'll just get rid of that. And then we'll come over to Juliana. I don't like doing the VOR approach, the VOR Zulu. I don't like doing the Uluba arrival. I really like the RNAV, but given the fact that the weather should be good, we should be alright today. Basically just planning on is another discontinuity. Get rid of that and we should be good to go. I mean, this is a pretty straightforward flight plan. So we got San Juan runway 8, then it's a manual departure. Open up the Navigraph charts here. Manual flight to... Oh cool, it's loaded. Let's look at the Hamar 2 departure. You can see you got a manual segment here until you hit Hamar, and then you're on to Nile. Then over to Slugo and down. Just make sure everything's correct. And it's not correct because there's the VOR. So we want to get rid of that. And we want to get rid of... we'll take that one out. Let's see how that works. So Sluga, Uluba with the beer. missed approach, and in we go. Good to go there. So let's get some weather. Not looking real pretty outside here. Well, I guess it's not too bad. Let's get some weather for San Juan. Alright, 080 at 12, gust in 24. That'll keep us on our toes. And let's see, temperature 29, dew point 24. And anytime that's less than 5 degrees Celsius, you can expect some clouds and low level visibility issues, which we've got today. So 3004 and 1017 for the altimeter. We'll set that. So one thing you guys will figure out quite quickly is that I really like the ATR. I really like the ATR. The ATR is getting an update this month, and we'll go 122.8 because we're on Vatsim, and we'll go 121.5 in the number 2 radio, because you should always monitor the emergency frequency. Just a habit. And let's see, San Juan VOR is 114, so we'll tune that in. And the Juliana VOR is, what is it? 113. Pretty simple. So we'll go down and over. 113. And good to go. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I suppose I'll find out later, huh? I've always wanted to try a stream, but it's my first one. So I got a squawk code. This is interesting. So on Vatsim, when I signed into Vatsim, I got this auto ATC thing come up, and it says there's no controller, which I know, but it gave me a squawk code 4417. In case ATC comes online, which is pretty cool. So we'll go 44417, enter. I always turn the transponder on right now. That's what we want to see. Alright, so we're pretty good to go. Anything else I need to do? Progress page. Let's go bearing 1, bearing 2. That way we get to 2 VORs. Altimeter is set. Transponder is good to go. Alright, let's select our altitude. We'll start off at 5,000. And I think we're good to go. So let's come up top. Make sure we're good to go. Okay. Let's use our before propeller rotation checklist. Why not use checklist? That's what they're there for. CDLs are on. FMS takeoff data. Let's confirm that. Oh, no. See, this is why that's not working. This is why you run checklists. Okay. Let's come down here to performance. Perf init. And we need our alternate. Our alternate is going to be our departure destination, which is unusual, TJSJ. And our, we'll let's do 12,000 on the return if we have to. Cruise altitude, flight level 150. And go away. 15,000. We'll do our weights here. 0 fuel weight. Press and hold. Fuel on board. Press and hold. Gross weight is good. Alright, now we got our takeoff trim 1.5. 1.5, good to go there. Alright. Now we should be good to get our takeoff data. There we go. Let's confirm that. 123, good to go.
San Juan traffic, you'll be a 335 heavy coming on to Vapor 7, will be taxi runway 8 via November Sierra. San Juan traffic.
Alright, we got some traffic here. Alright, FMS takeoff data is set. You know, now I'm starting to wonder. Yeah, we'll worry about that later. Alright, trims. That's 1.6. I want 1.5. 1.5, green, green. Alright, tail prop, doors, seatbelts, beacon. Alright, we'll go up top. Seatbelt signs on, rotating beacon, nav lights. And ready to go here. Toes on the brakes. Always put my toes on the brakes whenever I'm starting an airplane. Prop brake off. Good to go. And condition lever into auto for the right engine. Looking good. Alright, so let's get the number 1 engine going. Go run, start, come back down here, bring the condition lever up, and we'll watch the ITT come up here. You guys are part of my first ever live stream. Cool stuff. Now it's come down and increasing again. So we'll bring the condition lever into the auto position. Everything looking good there. And with the ATR, you do have to nudge the throttles up just a little bit into man-man. Otherwise, the hydraulics are not going to work, which is, of course, a little bit annoying. But we've got the engines now going. Let's turn the starter off. TRU. Good to go. And we can disconnect. Alright. Now we'll come over and release the ground power. Disconnect the wheel chocks. Alright, and we are good to go now. So FWS recall. It's right here. Good to go. Cockpit comm hatch closed. CL1 and 2 on auto. Anti-icing as required. Don't need it. TRU is on. The anti-skid test. Good to go. Clear that. Flaps 15. Selected and indicating. Check our nose wheel steering. Nose wheel steering is on. So now we are good to go. 122.8. There's the Vatsim traffic. Don't know who or what that is, but we can go over here to Valanta. slowing down. Yeah, we've got some traffic here. He's going to Jacksonville, UPS. A JetBlue flight down there. Alright, so we are now ready to go. Let's release the parking brake. Quick look outside. Alright. I suppose I should figure out my taxi plan here, huh? So come back to our charts. San Juan. And San Juan traffic, executive vehicle 55902, taxiing to runway 8 via taxiway November 1, Sierra 1, San Juan. Alright, so good to go. Weather's clearing up a little bit, it seems. Looks a little better. So I don't know how the quality on the stream is going to be, the video quality. It should be good, but it's kind of looking a little bit fuzzy in here, but could be just because I'm streaming. Yeah, and that's the hydraulic warning you're gonna get if you don't keep the throttles up a little bit. Alright, taxi and takeoff lights, didn't turn those on. Good job. So that's that. I didn't check my brakes either. Let's see here. Okay, all good. Takeoff configuration test is okay. So before takeoff checklist. So takeoff briefing, it is, like we said, straight out manual departure here. Heading is 078, which is runway heading. I don't want to get too close to this guy because if he puts those engines in, he's going to send me flying, literally. So let's see, takeoff briefing, we're good to go. Gust lock, we can release. Flight controls. Look up here, make sure the spoilers are engaging. Okay, they are. Transponder and TCAS both green. Roll forward a little bit here.
San Juan traffic, UPS 335 heavy, you'll be landing at runway 8 departure north of Coney 3 departure, San Juan traffic.
Boost function is good, airflow is good. Notify the cabin crew here. Engine bleeds are good. Exterior lights we'll worry about. We're gonna go IAS heading mode. Because we are gonna fly that 078 heading. I'll set the heading bug once we get on the runway. And let's see, short CR1. San Juan traffic, executive vehicle 55902, holding short CR1, runway 8 departure, San Juan. So come to the hold short line here. And we'll watch our compatriot take off here. One thing I am going to do is get just a little bit of the lights on the internal lights, just because just in case we get in the clouds and something gets a little Gets a little dark. Alright, everything looking good up top. There's no lights, which is a good thing. Landing gear is down, and TRU is on. Those are the only things that I would expect to see. Lights are good. Alright, so external lights are on. Lateral flight director bar is up. Rudder cam. Alright, so all we need to do is get on the runway and get our heading synced, and we're good to go. San Juan traffic, Executive Eagle 5592, taxiing in position and hold for runway 08, San Juan. And I just gave the wrong call. It's not position and hold anymore, it's line up and wait. And the reason it's line up and wait and not position and hold is because position and hold uses the word hold. And that's the same thing as hold short. So they don't want people getting confused with that instruction, and that's one of the things I mentioned with that Japan Airways crash. So we're good to go. Lights are all on.
San Juan traffic here, UPS 335, climbing out of 1,600, turning left, heading 350.
Alright, heading is synced. We are good to go. I'm comfortable with that separation. We're going to be above his path anyhow. San Juan traffic, Executive Eagle 5592, departing runway 8, straight out departure, San Juan. Alright, so bring in the power. Notch, notch. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. 14 gust and 24 out of the left here. On center line. 100 knots. The cool thing about this airplane is I just did it. I just had a tail strike. This airplane flies itself off the ground. Alright, positive rate. Gears coming up. And I don't want to do anything until 400 feet AGL. There's 400 feet AGL. We'll go takeoff power. Yaw dampener on. And we'll engage the autopilot, which is always a little abrupt in this airplane. Watch the speed come up here. Speed is good. Track the flaps. And we'll come up here and turn the taxi and takeoff lights off and run our after takeoff checklist. Landing gear up, no lights, flaps are up and indicating power management is on climb, engine bleeds are good. Taxi and takeoff lights are off, altimeters we will set in quite a while because we're climbing to 18,000. Well, actually, we're not going to have to reset them until we enter Juliana airspace. So we'll set our altitude select to 15. It's 14.5. There's 15. Good to go. Alright. San Juan traffic, Executive Eagle 5592, straight out departure off runway 8, climbing through 2,200. Eastbound departure, San Juan. So we'll come over here, we'll do direct to Hamar, execute, and we'll go nav mode. Gosh, you guys could almost be convinced I'm an actual pilot, huh? Alright, let's take a look up top. Everything is looking good up there, save for the fact that my lights are on. I've got the overhead lights on. It's kind of weird. Anyway. Alright. Take a look at San Juan as we're getting into the clouds here. Hope this is So I'm supposed to be able to see any comments that you guys are making, if you are making any comments, but I can't see anything. So either you guys are shy, or the comments aren't loading. One of the two. My guess is the comments probably aren't loading, but who knows? Let's see if I can bring up YouTube on my iPad, and I can see if there are any comments. So I was saying earlier, if you just joined, that I've been doing so much of the videos. I just haven't done any flying, really. I mean, I've done a handful of flights for Caribbean Virtual, which is my own virtual airline. If you guys want to join a virtual airline with the update coming up, the World Update 16, featuring the Caribbean. Now would be a good time to join Caribbean Virtual Airlines. Haven't done much flying lately. Oh no, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to, darn it. I can't. Alright, well. Yeah, I was so busy with with everything going on that I forgot to start my ACARS for the virtual airline. That's alright. So, what shall we do now? Let's have a look around. One thing I love about Track IR and these views I have set up is you can, it's just like you're sitting in the seat, you know. Sit there and peek out the window, see what's going on. So, $8,300 climbing 1,000, flight level 150. So if there's anything to see over here, not really. So, now I've got my YouTube app up, and I do have some comments. Holy cow, hi from Sicily. Nunzio, how are you? That's really amazing. That's unbelievable. And we got Fly Island Guy. Really appreciate that support, man. I know you're always a viewer, and I really appreciate it. And NY Lonnie, how you doing, man? Good to have you aboard. And ARTUNCS found the channel for the MS Frame Gen. And yeah, I'm really glad to have you watching. So Luis, you can see on my channel page in like the info, there's a link to the Caribbean Virtual Airlines website. But let me see if I can. Let me make sure I get it right. think it's this right here that I'm about to type in. BBWA.net. There you go. It's so cool that I have people. You guys are joining along. So we're through 10,000 feet. Turn the landing lights off. We'll turn the seatbelt sign off. Take another quick look here up top. Make sure everything's good. And it is. And let's see, I'm not going to worry about the altimeter. I'm just going to click that through. And then what we should do is have a quick look through the engine, through the systems pages. So hydraulics are looking good. TRU is on. The TRU, by the way, is so in case you have a hydraulic failure, some sort of engine failure over water. Packs are looking good. Temps auto, cabin pressurization all good. Oopsie. And electrics all looking good. 2222 TRU is on. So in case you have an electrical failure, you've got the TRU all. The transverser rectifier unit, I do believe that's called. And yeah, temps are good, oil pressures are good. Fuel flows are good, fuel is balanced. So I'm a relatively happy pilot. Hey Luis, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. You don't know how much that means to me. And yeah, the Caribbean Virtual is fantastic. It was started by a couple guys out of Trinidad, a couple friends down in Trinidad, and I got involved pretty early on. And they got to the point where they were just too busy with other stuff in their lives to kind of keep it up, and so I volunteered to take over. So there's another fellow pilot and I took it over, and we're really looking forward to the Caribbean World Update, so that we can have we get some more attention down in the islands and get some more people looking to fly. We're a Vatsim partner airline, which is fantastic. And just a great group of guys, great group of people, and it's a lot of fun routes. And the other cool thing is that so that we obviously, of course I'm telling you about my own airline, my own VA while I'm flying for a different one, but we do, we recreate essentially the operations of Caribbean Airlines, and Caribbean Airlines is doing a huge expansion this year, so we're going to get a lot more destinations coming up, with a lot more routes, a lot more, different things we can do. So it's really exciting. So looking forward to it. Take a quick look here, see where we are. So we just came out of San Juan. That's Culebra right down there, which would be off our right side if we could see it. I can't see it right now. But just up here, you can start seeing St. Thomas. See that right down here? St. Thomas, St. John, Tortola, Virgin Gorda, the British Virgin Islands, and then we're out over the water down into San Juan, or down into St. Maarten rather. And yeah, should be a fun flight. And the other thing I'm really looking forward to is the the ATR update. So it's really like, it's that's awesome, Luis. Thanks, man. I can't wait to have you aboard. The other really cool thing with that's coming up is the ATR update. So they announced an ATR update for January. They haven't really said much about it since. I think they announced that, I believe, in November. And there's FS Islander. I totally agree. The islands of it, you know, it's where it's at as far as I'm concerned. So we're gonna get an update to the ATR, which is already a great airplane. Then the Caribbean World update, which is amazing. And yeah, I mean, in my opinion, we're really gonna be in good shape. And making our right turn here. You know, it's funny. Everybody's looking for extra performance. You know, which is of course how my channel kind of took off. But that's the other thing I need to do is switch this to cruise now. And you know, that's always been one of my arguments about why the Caribbean is such a great place to fly. Is because, I mean, first of all, you've got a lot of gorgeous scenery. You know, you know, there's a lot of developers now that are working the Caribbean. You know, some traditional ones like Richer Simulations, and I think of some of the other kind of better known. There's one that's right on the tip of my tongue I can't think of. But then we've also now got SLH Sim Designs, which has done Culebra, which is right over here under the clouds, and like Puerto Pitre in Guadeloupe. They just released Grenada, Anguilla, of course, and so now we've got all this great scenery. Hey, Humbly, what's going on? Welcome aboard. And you know, so there's all this great scenery.